Good afternoon, my friends. How are we? The Europa League draw has taken place, and if Liverpool are indeed to take on Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen, well, it's going to be in the final because we have been kept apart on other sides of the draw. I'm sure you've all seen this already. Thank you to everyone that's joined us. We're going to go through the draw. Of course, we're going to give you some updates from Jurgen Klopp's press conference ahead of the Manchester United game of the weekend. Look at the Champions League draw. And yeah, lots of other bits and pieces. As always, thank you for being in with us. It's a glorious day. I'm looking forward to Sunday. Obviously, then we've got the international break. But the good news, we will have players coming back after the international break. Ramzanil said, good to see you, Craig. Thank you, mate. Good to see you as well. Yeah, I'm happy with that draw. I've got to say, I don't have too many complaints about it. It could have been a lot worse. I certainly think we're on the easier side of the draw. And for me, I'm feeling pretty confident that we'll be in Dublin. I did see a question actually from Lee, who said, how big is the stadium in Dublin? The Aviva, I think, mates about 52,000. So yeah, 52k, and I think Croke Park for the fan zone, well, that could be adding up to 70, 80k, depending on what way they kit it out. So yeah, we've lots to look forward to. Did I or did I not call the Bayer Leverkusen West Ham game? I know I got our one wrong, but I was close. I did say that we get the winner of Benfica Rangers, but hey, we could play Benfica in the semi-final potentially if they get past Marseille. But yes, I did call the Bayer Leverkusen West Ham game, and that will be interesting because we'll get to see how they get on then against Premier League opposition, and yeah, it'll give us a good indicator as to what level Bayer Leverkusen are at. Bobby Clark Cup is the Europa League, a super talent. He's brilliant, and he was so good last night. Really, really impressive performance from him. So I guess we should start off by taking a look at the Europa League draw. I'm sure you've all seen this already, but the top of the draw looks like this. Benfica of Portugal will be taking on Marseille of France. Next up is Liverpool, will be taking on Atalanta. Then it's AC Milan against Roma, and Bayer Leverkusen of Germany, obviously, against West Ham of England. So that's going to be interesting. As I said, I think we have the easier side of the draw. If Liverpool get past Atalanta, then we will be taking on the winner of Benfica and Marseille. So interesting. And the way it looks, by the way, is this: Liverpool or Atalanta versus Benfica or Olympique Marseille, and AC Milan or Roma versus Bayer Leverkusen or West Ham. So I'll take our side of that draw. Thank you very much. That'll do me. I've no issues with that. Could have been a lot worse. So yeah, I'm happy with the draw. I think they're all very good ties, said Nomad. Yes, they are. They're interesting. Benfica are nowhere near as strong as they were in recent years. Marseille, they're doing quite well in France. Obviously, they've got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang there. Atalanta, well, we've played them before. We've been over and played Gasparini's side in the Champions League. So that's going to be an interesting one, but I fancy us to get the better of them. The AC Milan-Roma tie is going to be very interesting, an all Serie A tie, and then we'll all be keen observers of the Leverkusen-West Ham game. So yeah, let us know your predictions. Who do you think's going through in the draw? Who do you think makes it to Dublin? Obviously, I'm backing our boys all the way. United draw is looking interesting. Yeah, surprisingly enough, I wasn't able to find Manchester United's European draw today when I went looking, for obvious reasons. I mean, it'd be rude of us not to have a look at the Champions League quarterfinals as well while we're talking about European competition. Let's have a look at the top of that draw. Atletico Madrid against Borussia Dortmund. Paris Saint-Germain against Barcelona. Real Madrid against Manchester City. And Arsenal against Bayern Munich. That's a very interesting draw. Some huge ties in there. PSG, Barcelona have a lot of history together. I mean, I just have to cast you back to that Neymar incident when they bought him from Barcelona after feeling upset at the way they were perceived, received and treated at the Nou Camp. At the other top of it, we've got Atletico Madrid against Dortmund. Obviously, we're all on Team Dortmund there. Real Madrid against Manchester City. Yeah, well, we're fully on the Madrid side of that, surely. And then Arsenal against Bayern Munich. That's a very interesting tie. So both competitions have thrown up some interesting ones. And obviously, Aston Villa got drawn against Lille in the Europa Conference League. So that's probably the toughest draw they could have gotten, in all honesty. So that'll be interesting to see how Jonathan David and Lille get on against Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Right, Madrid CD winner that takes the Champions League. I agree, CD Salva. I agree with you. I think whoever progresses in the Real Madrid Manchester City game. Am I right in saying the second leg of that is going to be at the Etihad? Because these things are always interesting to me. So yeah, that will be an interesting tie, and I think we can look forward to some really good ties in both competitions. Arsenal could not have been handed a tougher draw. They could. They could have got Man City or Real Madrid. I mean, Bayern Munich probably the third toughest, but I mean, I'm sure if you're an Arsenal fan, you'd be happy enough at Bayern Munich. It's going to be difficult, but hey, it is the quarterfinals of the Champions League, so you'd fully expect it to be difficult. City versus Arsenal in the semi could derail their league form. It would be interesting. It would be very, very interesting, yes. I'm really looking forward to the end of the season now. Obviously, from our perspective as Liverpool fans, but right across the board for European football in general. Xabi Alonso's been speaking. He said, "For me, it's clear. I really see Liverpool as the favourites to win the Europa League." And he's not just saying that for mind games. I think he believes that because, let's be honest, he's right. We are the favourites for the Europa League. And I said this last night. Don't be scared of it. Sometimes having the favourites tags people are worried about or deem that we're being cocky. Don't be. Own it. We should be the favourites. We're the best team in this competition. And I think the two legs against Sparta Prague showed again that we are a level above this competition and we've got to keep doing that. And I fully believe and expect that we will lift that trophy in Dublin. Will it be against Bayer Leverkusen? Will we get the fairy tale ending? Will it be Kloppo against potentially the next Liverpool manager? Let's wait and see. We're certainly set up for it now on both sides of the draw. Liam said, "Hey Craig, love the content. Who do you think starts the game on Sunday?" So I don't want to give that away just yet, Liam, because I'm going to record my preview tomorrow. Or today, sorry, that's going to go out at 10 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, that'll go out then, mate. I did give a sneak peek last night on the stream, but yeah, I'm going to hang off, record the preview and put it out because tomorrow's my day off. So, I will be putting the preview out at 10 a.m. Is the final the only way we can play Leverkusen? Yes, they're on the opposite side of the draw. So, just to confirm again, these are the possible semi-final pairings for those who may not have seen them. It'll be Liverpool or Atalanta versus the winner of Benfica or Olympique Marseille. So that's one semi-final. The other semi-final is going to be AC Milan or AS Roma against the winner of Bayer Leverkusen and West Ham. So yes, the only way we could take on Xabi Alonso's side is in the final. Jen, very kind of you, mate. Gifted 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. Thank you so much, Jen. Right, I guess I got to address something really quickly. So I'm not going to use names in this because I want to just, they'll know who I'm talking about. Stop coming in, cry arson in our DMs, please and thank you. If you've got a problem with being called on something, then I must have struck a nerve. But thanks for letting me know that I struck a nerve. Now I certainly know what buttons to press. And again, don't be cry arson to Connor in the DMs, mate. You know, you are only upset about it because you know that I'm right. I'll leave it at that. He'll know what I'm talking about. That's enough for me. I won't have to give him the addressing publicly because, hey, already had enough clout. Thanks, Craig. Sorry you had to repeat yourself. Just didn't hear what you said. All good, my man. All good. I understand that people pop in and out at different times of the stream, bro. All good. Right, let's go. Let's talk about the press conference today and what Jurgen Klopp was talking about. He was talking a little bit about the FA Cup game. He said, "We can take 9,000 people to Manchester United." And asked me afterwards if I enjoy it. We'll try to prepare. Again, we have a situation where we played Thursday and we handled it. United have had a full week to prepare. Ten Hag knows how to play, so he'll line up some challenges, but we have to be ready anyway. As much as it's possible, I enjoy these games. I don't know much about their season, but I saw some good games, a lot of quality and injury problems. Maybe Højlund is available again. Wan-Bissaka is close. That obviously makes a difference. We'll see on Sunday. It's always a tough place to go. It means everything to both sets of fans. We know that. We tried to show that on the pitch and the work rate, but we never know. No guarantees, just opportunities. We will give it a try. Yes, we will, Jurgen, and we will win. That's me saying that, by the way, not Jurgs. Don't sleep on Atalanta, Swedes. I'm not sleeping on them, but we've already dealt with them before, and I've no doubt we'll deal with them again. They are a good team. Gasperini plays some really attractive football. They're really easy on the eye to watch. but they're not as strong as they were in recent years. De Catalara is obviously a good player, but I think we'll be all right. It'll be interesting, and I expect lots of goals in it because Gasparini's teams don't sit back, and that's what I enjoy about watching them. Dan signed a new contract. Oh, I know. Don't worry. I've got that in my notes. Yes, indeed. Jayden Danns has signed a new long-term contract with Liverpool Football Club. The club have congratulated him. Of course, I'm going to congratulate him, and I'm sure you guys are the very same. Very well deserved, and we're looking forward to see what Jayden Danns can bring in the years to come. So much love to him. How do I pronounce this gentleman's name? Kanishk Sharma said, love your content, mate. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, dude. Welcome in. Right, look, top left corner. We're doing it. We're closing in. We are a mere 427 subscribers away from 250,000. So please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't joined the family yet. Just to confirm as well, both of our kickoff times, thank you Mark for this, for the Atalanta games will be 8 p.m. kickoff, so no more 5:45s, which is good news. Both of those will be 8 p.m. kickoffs, which I prefer. I think it gives her better atmospheres as well. Tayshawn said, Canade, possible return date against Manchester United. We're going to move on to that now in a second. Jurgen Klopp did indeed speak about injuries, and he said Curtis has a chance for after the international break, then Diogo and Trent the week after, and that's very good. I mean, that's probably jotted a little bit ahead of schedule there. So we said Trent and Diogo a week after the international break. They have a chance. By Cecic, this is important because lots of people have been asking me for updates on Stefan. He said, by Cecic feels something, but it's not injuries, it's intensity. We don't want to use him before he's really ready. His body was not really ready for the intensity. He is in a much better place now, but we have to wait. Part of team training after the international break. So there you go. Just confirming that Bajcetic was struggling with the intensity of Premier League football and of senior football, and understandable. So the club have taken the right stance, in my opinion, and being careful with him, and we'll see him back in soon enough. Amaram isn't convincing me in the slightest. What about you? Well, yes, he is convincing me. He's working with Sporting Lisbon, so he's somewhat working with a hand tied behind his back because they just don't have the budgets or the calibre of players that we do. I think he's done a good job with Sporting Lisbon, but he is my second target. Like every one of us wants Alonso, let's be honest. But even at that, you could look at Alonso and have a similar mindset. Like they went life and death with Karabag last night, and let's be honest, we'd have dealt with Karabag very easily, as they did in the group stages. So look, you can find reasons to feel optimistic or to feel cautious about any potential managers, but Amarim is a well thought of for a reason. But he is also below Xabi Alonso in the pecking order for the job, so I wouldn't feel too worried about it, Jack. Forza Atalanta, says Milanista. Look, I've enjoyed playing Atalanta, mate. We've played them a couple of times, and I enjoy watching Italian football in general. So, don't watch it week in, week out, but I've always enjoyed our run-ins with Atalanta. Obviously, you're a Milan fan. We've certainly had our fair share of massive games over the years, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Nothing but love to our friends over in Milan and over in Italy. It's interesting. It's good for Italian football as well. They've got three quarter finalists in there, guaranteed a semi-finalist as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how it all pans out and who gets to Dublin. I'm still going to stick with my prediction. I'm going to go for Liverpool AC Milan final in Dublin. That's what I said the other day, and I'm going to stick by it. Finn, how are you, mate? In from Peterborough. Appreciate you, mate. Lovely to have you in. CD Savage says, we're hitting 250k when Liverpool beat United on Sunday. That's the hope, mate. Yes, that is the hope, that we get there Sunday. I'm sure we will at this point. You know, nothing in life's a certainty, but yeah, I'm pretty confident we should be there by Sunday. Can you explain how loaning a player works? Are they still signed to our club? Yeah, of course. So there are variations to loans. Some loans you can have a recall option in, but they are still owned by Liverpool Football Club or whoever the loaning club is. So usually it's a 6 or 12-month contract or 1 season contract. Sometimes the club contributes some of the wages for the player. Sometimes the club that they're being loaned to contributes all of the wages. There's also going to be an officer that will keep in contact with the loan player, check in, watch the performances, liaise with them, make sure that everything's okay when they're at the other club. But ultimately, they do return to Liverpool in the summertime, and then another assessment is made, and the club decide whether their first team ready, whether to go out on another loan, or of course whether to perhaps sell them. But yes, 100% always owned by the club. Now, there are other loans that may have an option. So you could have loans that have an option that could be triggered at the end of that for a set fee, or you could have loans with a first option, meaning the player who's gone on loan to that club, if Liverpool decide to sell, then that club would have first refusal. Again, no two loans are the same all the time, and there's always some factors in it. But yeah, most importantly, the players are still registered to Liverpool Football Club, or whoever the loaning club is. Alright, Craig, hope you're well, having a good day. I'm really enjoying the conversations with the chat about Liverpool. Always cheer me up. I've been struggling with my mental health. Well, there's a lot. You're not on your own, Keane. That's one thing I'll say to you, mate. It's a difficult time in the world now, mate, and a lot of us, myself included in this, have been up and down with mental health. And as I've said before, I speak to a psychologist at least twice a month about my own, and I know lots of other people who are the same. So if it persists and if it becomes a problem in your life that's causing you sleepless nights, or make sure you reach out, mate, to a doctor, mental health professional, because sometimes, like you've said, coming in chatting in the chat, sometimes that's a huge help as well. So look, you're here with us, appreciate it, and I hope things move in the right direction for you. Crimbo Klopp said he'll be what? Oh, nearly 250,000 subscribers. Should be proud. Thank you, Crimbo Klopp. Yeah, we are. We're immensely proud, mate. It's fantastic. Fantastic. I guess I should say sorry I wasn't up for the draw today, but I needed sleep. There's no way I was getting out of bed for it. I'm just too tired. I was working really late last night. I was on a call with Brian as well, our friend at FC USA, and then I was working till about 1:30. So by the time I got some downtime, went to sleep, there was no way I was getting up for the draw, but that's okay. I mean, I'm here now. If Jota is available, we need to start him versus Atalanta and score a hat-trick against them. Oh, he will be available by then, Hex. Yeah, he will. So I'm sure we will have Diogo Jota as an option for Jurgen at that point. Craig, if you had one player that you could sign to Liverpool, who would it be? Musiala, then Wirtz, in that order, if I could pick. What's the odds of a West Ham-Atalanta final? I mean, I don't know how to work out the actual odds. I'm sure there's a statistician amongst us who can figure that out, but I'm going to say about as much hope of me coming in here tomorrow looking like, I don't know, Leo Sayer. I mean, that's probably too old of a reference for people. Marwan Fellaini. There you go. It's about as much as like me showing up with a Marwan Fellaini head of hair. It's not happening. Because Liverpool are going to be in the final. And don't be afraid to say that out loud. Don't be afraid. We are the favourites. We've every right to be confident. It's not arrogance. It's confidence. Nothing wrong with a bit of confidence. So, the winners of Arsenal and Bayern Munich will take on the winners of Real Madrid and Manchester City as well in the Champions League. So, that pathway through to Wembley looks interesting. And it is ironic that the final is in Wembley, of course, and there's still a couple of English clubs in there, but they do have, it maybe irony isn't the word, they do have a difficult pathway through. And Liverpool, well, Dublin's nearly a home game for the Reds. So we are starting to now look at something on the night of the Europa League final in Dublin. We're trying to figure out exactly what that looks like at the minute, but we're hoping we at least have an after party, an Anfield Agenda after party somewhere in Dublin city centre. We're currently liaising to try and find the right venue. I feel like after that draw today, the pathway through, I'm feeling confident enough that we can start making those plans. And hopefully, let's ask this in the chat. Is anybody around the Irish Dublin area be up for it? A post Europa League final party in Dublin city centre? Let us know. We're probably looking at doing something from 10 p.m, 10:15 to 2 a.m, something like that, to try and make sure everybody gets a chance to watch the game. Or maybe if we find the right venue, we can do a kind of joint watch along inside the venue, followed up by an after party. But that's the plan anyway. It's in our home city and we want to be part of the festivities. Already sorted going to Dublin. Going to be a long trek for me all the way from Mallow. There you go, Phil. All the way from Mallow. It's not too far, mate, down in Cork. It's not too far. But Make sure that if you are up there, drop into the Anfield Agenda after party once we get it sorted, mate. It's a problem if we lose the final. Is it? I don't know if it is. We still get to celebrate a good season at that point. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but if we lose the final, you know, at that point we'll know if we've won the Premier League or not. We'll know if we're in the FA Cup final or not. But either way, that could be Kloppo's last game as Liverpool manager. If we don't get to the FA Cup final, then that could be farewell to Jurgen. So either way, it's a night worth celebrating. It's a night worth acknowledging all the great work. It's a night worth reflecting on Jurgen's time. So either way, we'll find a way to celebrate. Do you plan a celebration stream once you hit 250k? No, my mentality is very much this, mate. Hit a milestone, acknowledge it, celebrate it for a moment, and go on to the next milestone. Keep looking forward. Is the FA after the Europa? Yes, it is. It is after the Europa. I think it's 4 or 5 days after the Europa League final. We'll be there in Dublin, said Amar. Nice. Or Amir, excuse me, nice. Just a reminder, anyone that is planning on travelling to Dublin, make sure you get your hotel sorted, because it is going to be very difficult to secure accommodation in Dublin in and around the Europa League final. Think it could possibly Liverpool against Leverkusen in the final is nuts. I guess the ones who did the Europa League draw knew how much we needed this. I don't know, but it is great that we're on opposite sides of the draw, because now we know if indeed we are to take on Xabi Alonso's side, it will have to be in the final. Flights have gone up already. I would imagine so. Absolutely. That's the one saving grace for me in all of this. Actually, you know what though? To anybody who's coming over from the UK, let's say, over to Dublin for the final, there are plenty of options. So you can fly into Dublin, you can fly into Shannon, you can fly into Belfast, you can fly into Cork, you can get the ferry across, you can get the ferry to Belfast. There will be options, and I think that we'll be able to get enough Reds over to the city handily enough. So yeah, hopefully everybody's able to make their way across and get here at a reasonable cost. You're welcome to stay with Craig for the final. Well, I don't live in Dublin, mate, so I'll be staying in my mother-in-law's house that night for the final. That's where I'm very fortunate that Sabrina's parents, they live in Dublin. Do I have high hopes for this clash on Sunday? Well, it depends what you mean by high hopes. Do I think we beat Manchester United fairly comfortably? Yep. Why wouldn't I feel confident? You know, at the minute we're playing great football, and United really aren't. And this is their season. Like, this is their FA Cup final. This is it. If we beat them, Ten Hag's probably getting the bullet in the summer. And I feel we do beat them, yeah. I'll give you a score prediction right now. I'm going 3-1. I think we're going to be too strong. And they have to do something. You know, they're the home side. Will they be able to just sit there and play with a low block and try and counter? We'll figure that out. But it's going to have to be resolved on Sunday, whether it's extra time penalties or it's done in 90 minutes. But I tell you what, I'm confident. I live in Meath and I doubt I'll get tickets to the final, but I still hope to be in Dublin for the final, and I'll try to get to the after party. Well, make sure you do if you're in that neck of the woods, mate, and we will give you more information as when, of course, we get a venue sorted. Also, if anybody knows of any Liverpool bars in Dublin city centre, because I'm not really aware, I'm not a drinker, so I'm not really aware of what bars in the city centre of Dublin Liverpool fans congregate in for match days, but if any of those bars want to reach out to us as well and have the Anfield Agenda boys pop along, feel free. Just watch the clip from when Klopp left Mainz. Tears, cracking voice, had me getting emotional. We're not prepared for his leaving, said Andy LFC Cali. I'm going to let you in a little secret, Andy. I'm living in denial over that at the moment. I can't bring myself to really think about the moment yet. Yeah, I'm trying to just take it every game, enjoy every game, every press conference, every interview, and kind of bury my head in the sand a little bit about the fact that he's actually leaving. So yeah, that's where I'm at, mate. I'm not going to lie. Will the after party still go ahead if, God forbid, Liverpool don't make the final? No, probably not. I think it depends. It depends what the venue think, what the plans are. I mean, no, probably not. if we don't make the final. But it would be a case that if anybody had tickets, they would of course be refunded. So there's you somewhat have to take a bit of a risk here from our side, because of course there is, as you said, there is no guarantees, right? So we're looking ahead to try and make sure that if indeed we get to the final, which I'm confident we will, that we have everything in place. You don't want a last minute scramble for it. Future me can worry about Jurgen leaving, said Goomy. Yes, future Craig has lots of problems coming up, Goomy, that present and past Craig doesn't really care about, because they're future Craig's problems. So I'm with you on that, mate. Raj said Dublin is pretty much Scouse anyway. I mean, that's probably the other way around, to be fair. Liverpool's pretty much Irish, is what I'd say. We talked about Jayden Danns, George, signing a new contract, which is great news. Congratulations to him. I'm sure his father Neil will be very proud as well. And yes, Jayden Danns has indeed signed a new long-term contract at Liverpool Football Club, which is great to see. So let me ask, is anybody worried about the draw? I mean, we've seen our friend a moment ago say, don't be sleeping on Atalanta, which of course we won't. But is anybody concerned about the draw? Is everybody happy enough with it? Craig, I live in New Zealand, so unfortunately I can't make it to the Dublin for the final. We also have Irish heritage, so I hope to make it to that part of the world in my lifetime. Well, if ever you do get over here, mate, let me know. If we're around, I'd love to pop up, say hi if you ever get over to Ireland. It's a beautiful country, I promise you that, especially over on the west coast. But like yourself, I plan to get myself over to New Zealand at some point, because my wife could have lived in New Zealand. There was a time where her father applied for them to move when she was a teenager, but he didn't get his permit to work there because he's blind in one eye, so he failed the medical. So I often think about what my life could have been like if my father-in-law had have got that visa and they were living in New Zealand. I never met my missus. The way we're playing, even the bookies aren't worried. I mean, look, we are in great form, and each round we go through in this competition, we're making it look like we're a level above, and that's a good thing. 11-2 over 2 legs against a decent side. I mean, even Sparta Prague's manager, in fairness to him, said we've never faced that like that. I appreciated the honesty from him. And I'm sure, look, the scoreline wasn't pretty, but I'm sure his squad will learn a lot from the 2 games against Liverpool as well, and it'll stand them in good stead in future European endeavours. Better than Milan and Leverkusen, said Morganski. Well, yeah, look, we're on, I don't want to say the easier side of the draw, but look, let's be honest, it probably is. Benfica or Marseille, neither of those two worry me over 2 legs. No, neither. I actually think our quarter-final will be harder than the semi-final. I think Atalanta will give us a tougher time than either Benfica or Marseille, in my opinion. And then on the other side of the draw, AC Milan versus AS Roma, and then Leverkusen versus West Ham. So, yeah, I mean, strong side of the draw. If Leverkusen get past West Ham, they're going to have to place the winner of AC Milan Roma. That's not going to be easy, so they will have earned their way to the final, whoever goes through on that side. At this stage of the competition, there are no easy games. We have to keep going and play as we can throughout. Yeah, there's no easy games, but there's an easier side of the draw, and I would say it's us. Now, by the looks of that, we are away for the second leg in both, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult in that regard. We'll have the first legs at Anfield, and then the second legs away. You know, you'd prefer to have the second legs at home, but still, I fancy us to get the job done. Craig, I love watching you. Thank you for the content. Nothing to thank me for. Thank you for watching. Charles Robert 70 O'Brien. No need to thank me, mate. Appreciate you being in. We need a centre-back. Canade is class but injury prone. Well, I think he'll be happy in the summer then, because centre-back is definitely on the list for the recruitment team. Centre-back, full-back and attacker looks like the positions that Liverpool will be looking to address in the summer. Obviously, we're going to probably lose Matip. Thiago Alcantara is going to move on. And we don't know what's going to happen with the contract renewals of Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah. But I'm sure we'll find out in due course. Semi-final second leg is at home. Is it? Oh, sorry. The way Fabrizio posted it, I assumed it was the other way around. My apologies. I was just working off a post Fabrizio did there on that one. So the semi-finals the other way around. Cool. Second leg in Dublin. Well, so I got to say this now. There's a chance I could be at the second leg semi-final. I've said this before. My plan was to go to a game with the guy who owns Oosh, and that's probably going to be the one we go to. He's away travelling for the quarterfinals. He's away in San Francisco for the round that we just played. So I think the plan was for us to go for the semi-final. So I'm going to have to wait and see if we will be around for the semi-final. I might pass it up and stay here with the channel, but I also do want to get over to Anfield for a game soon. So these are the difficult decisions, man. They really are. Craig, how do you think the effect of England's chances at a 5th Champions League spot? It's done, Alex. It's almost mathematically done. Last night, Miguel Delaney tweeted, and I will get you the... Miguel Delaney, by the way, the Independent chief football writer and a very fine journalist. He tweeted... Where's Miguel's post? This. It's actually possible... No, not that one. It's the next one from Miguel Delaney, sorry. There was a different one from Miguel Delaney. Where's the one that Connor sent me? Where's that post from Miguel? Sorry. Anyway, it's done. You don't have to worry about it. That 5th spot will be going to the Premier League. I think worst place, they'll finish 2nd in the coefficient rankings. Was it Mark that sent it to me then? Somebody sent me a quote last night from... Yeah, I can't find it here. Yeah, sorry, can't find it. But yeah, Miguel Delaney said it's done and dusted, so don't worry about it. We will have that extra spot next season. So, if you're a Villa fan, if you're a Spurs fan, that should be good news to you. Simon Noel, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, mate. Appreciate you. How do I not have that quote? Sorry, I'm just going back through my notes here. I should definitely have that quote. Sorry, still reading. Still reading. Bear with me. I hate when I... How do I not have that quote? Yeah, sorry, can't find it. My apologies. Go and see Klopp in person before he's gone forever. Well, Dave, the reason that I was planning for that game was I was at Klopp's first ever game at Anfield. Accidentally. I had tickets to just go see Liverpool, Rubin Kazan, and then Klopp became the manager. So I happened to be at Klopp's first game at Anfield as a Liverpool manager. And I wouldn't mind being at his last European game at Anfield as a Liverpool manager, which would be the second leg of the semi-final. So yeah, that was my thinking behind it. Mark has sent me this on now. We said, it's now near certain that 5th place in the Premier League will play in the Champions League. Tottenham Hotspur are 5th, currently 6 points above Manchester United 6th. And that came from Miguel Delaney. Thank you, Mark, for sending that on to me. I knew I'd seen it somewhere that it was pretty much done and dusted. Kevin Kingori, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, Kevin. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your support of the channel. I'm going to the Brighton game this month. Said, okay, 7218. Good game. Good game, mate. What a day that's going to be, by the way. I'm buzzing for that one. So we've got Brighton at 2 o'clock. And then we're going to go straight into a watch-along of the Manchester City-Arsenal game, obviously, because that has big ramifications for us in the Premier League. Who do you see as the new manager? Will the new manager come to sell our youngsters, Jurgen Klopp kids? No. I mean, the club didn't go out and bring in those young players and give them this experience if they didn't want them to continue progressing in the first team. So, no, I wouldn't imagine that any manager coming in will look to change that. And who do I think? 100% Alonso, Kevin. I think at this point... Look, the only thing that can stop Alonso, I feel, joining Liverpool is if he decides to stay at Leverkusen. I don't think another club are going to poach him ahead of us. If he decides to stay at Leverkusen for whatever reason, I mean, you'll have to respect that. But for me, I see it as he's going to be the Liverpool manager. That's my... viewpoint on it. Craig just got in from work. Any news on injuries? Yes, Chad. 1 second, mate. Jurgen gave us this update in his press conference earlier on. Curtis has a chance for the international break, then Diogo and Trent the week after the international break. They have a chance. Bajcetic feels something, but it's not injuries, it's intensity. We don't want to use him before he's really ready. His body was not really ready for the intensity. He's in a much better place now, but we have to wait. Part of team training after the international break. So it's good news actually on Diogo Jota there. It looks like he's a small bit ahead of schedule. Nothing on Alisson Becker there from Jurgen Klopp and that quote, but again, Alisson is expected to be beginning of April. What's your thoughts on Dan's? I think it's too early to really have any thoughts on Jadon Dan's. You know, incredible breakthrough from incredible getting those 2 goals. But we need to be realistic in our expectations. Last thing we want to do is build a young man up so much. And then if he goes through a little bit of a sticky patch, you know, go in on the kid. Let him develop. He's got time on his side. And I'm sure the club will do the right thing now. Take him out of the limelight a little bit as players come back from injury. But he's had the taste. And that should be more than enough now to, you know, keep him focused. And look, he's on the right path. He's doing good things. He's got a father there who knows the game and will, I'm sure, keep his feet on the ground. And just look forward to seeing how he develops. But I don't want us to put too much pressure on the kid or on Bobby Clark or on Conor Bradley. Enjoy them, but let's not build them up to knock them down. Really want an English team winning the Champions League while we aren't in it. Really don't want, an English team winning the Champions League while we aren't in it. And able to compete with them. Got too much FOMO, said Muse K. Yeah, look, I'm really intrigued to see that Real Madrid-Manchester City tie. That's going to be big. I think a lot of us probably feel like whoever wins that is certainly favourites to go and lift the trophy. And the final's in Wembley as well, so, you know, added incentive there for the likes of Arsenal, Manchester City, you know, a home country Champions League final. Barcelona will beat PSG. They're both not that great, to be honest. So, I don't know, but I would, if we had a draw on them, let's say, if we were in that competition, neither PSG nor Barcelona would hold any fear for me at the minute. I mean, looking at the Champions League, if I ranked them from strongest to weakest, I'm probably going City, Real Madrid. Arsenal, Bayern, I feel is a coin toss. And then you're looking at the best of the rest. I mean, the top of that draw is quite weak. Certainly the strongest half of the Champions League draw is the bottom half. So if you're Atletico Madrid, PSG, Barca or Dortmund, there's a real chance there to get to the final because you're avoiding Real, City, Arsenal, Bayern Munich. Definitely a tougher bottom half of that draw. Dortmund upset and win the Champions League. I mean, I'm trying to figure out who I think gets through on that side of the draw. I don't know. I can't pick a winner out of that side of the draw. My gut probably says Atleti because they know how to grind out results. They know how to sit deep and defend. I don't know, maybe Atletico Madrid from that side of the draw. Yeah, I really don't know. And I hate Atletico Madrid because of the singing of the racist songs at the minute. I can't get past that. So it's almost like I don't know if I'm not wanting them to get through and not giving them their flowers. But yeah, that singing was despicable. Happy to see Robertson playing as a centre-back, said Kevin Kingori. It was interesting. I mean, we know he's done it for Scotland previously, played in the back three. But yeah, it was interesting yesterday. I got very confused for a few minutes when Klopp made the substitutions, trying to figure out what on earth was going on. But look, job done. PSG already had some favourable decisions, so maybe they'll go all the way with the help of the refs. Look, there's no way PSG win that competition. Not hope. They're just not strong enough. They aren't. They haven't got a cohesive unit. They're a team of some young talented players and Mbappe. I don't think they have the team spirit to get through. Dortmund, Atleti definitely have that team spirit. Barcelona have the experience, have the know-how. I'm going to say it's going to be Atletico Barcelona in one semi-final and Manchester City Arsenal in the other semi-final. That's my guesses. So Atleti, Barca and City Arsenal. That's my guesses of the Champions League semi-final. And I say that almost as a challenge to Arsenal. Because if you want to be counted as really a top side, you should be dispatching Bayern Munich over 2 legs. So let's see. If they can get through that challenge, fair play to them. Because it's interesting and it's a winnable quarter-final for Arsenal. So let's see if they can do it. Craig, if Lucho was sold, would you sign Rafa Leao? Also going to be a great quarter-final. Don't want to underestimate Atalanta. Would I sign Rafa Leao? Not for the money that it would take, no. I wouldn't spend that much money on Rafa Leao. I like him as a footballer, very much so, for a whole host of reasons. But no, not if you're talking over 100 million quid. I don't think there's value there. For us, I think we can get a better option. But also, if we sell Lucho, it's probably because we may not be playing with 2 wingers in the future, depending on the system of the new manager. So these are all other things. Like, do we have to sell Lucho and bring in a number 10? I don't know. It's hard to talk about transfers at the minute. All we can work off is what the journalists have said, that Liverpool, regardless of the manager, areas we're going to look at, and attacking was one, defence centrally and fullback with the other one. So let's wait and see. I'm meaning Luis Enrique versus Xavi. Who cares? I mean, I don't really have any time for PSG or Barcelona, even though I am a Barcelona, I would say, fan. But I don't recognise this current Barcelona, as in, I don't like the way that they've treated a lot of people over the years. And PSG are just a French version of Manchester City, only worse, probably. On a different note, Gakpo isn't Liverpool striker quality. I'm honestly getting a bit concerned about people's agenda against Cody Gakpo. Get off his back. Like, I get it. He's not maybe having the season everybody hoped for, but to write him off already, just give him time. You know, he hasn't had a settled season. He hasn't played in the same position all the time. He hasn't played in his favourite position much, and he's still a really young player. I'm more than happy to have Cody Gakpo around, but let's be honest about it. He's not going to be in the regular starting front 3 at the moment. It's Lucho, Darwin and Salah. That's our front 3 at the moment. But him and Jota have big roles to play and are more than adequate replacements. I don't get it. It's like, even though he scored 2 yesterday, people are still having a go. What do we want from him? Like, he's a young man. He's nowhere near his prime or anything yet. I don't get the negativity. It was Elliot, and before that it was somebody else, and now it's Gakpo, and then it was Darwin. I mean, chill. It's not long ago everyone was the same about Darwin. Exactly, Dave. Gakpo has similar numbers to Diaz and Jota. I don't see the same dislike for them. It's because it's not based off facts. It's based off a group mentality. Some people go in on them and then everybody else piles in on them. I've seen people say to me in comments, oh, Elliot's had a shocker today, when all the journalists are writing about how great he was and the statisticians are showing us how good his numbers were. But yet there's some people that just want to be negative on him. And same with Gakpo. I don't get it. Like, if he has a poor performance, we can talk about a performance, but he scored 2. Bobby Clark is okay according to Klopp, which is good. I thought Bobby Clark was immense yesterday. Brilliant performance from him. We're yet to see the best of young Gakpo, said Colin. Absolutely, mate. Completely agree. It's sheep mentality. Yes, it is, Ronald. It is definitely. It's like people need to use their own critical thinking and have a look at the situation. But overall, I think he's contributed this season, absolutely. And I find it weird that some people still want to be negative when we're goal difference off the top of the league. We're in the quarterfinal of the Europa League. We're in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. And we've already won the League Cup. No need to stay positive. The break has come at a good time. Both Trent and Jones will be available for Brighton, and Alisson and Jota may not be too long after that. Yes. In some ways it's come at a good time. In some ways it hasn't, because we've got momentum at the minute. So, but I do agree with you. This couple of weeks to get a few lads back training and working ahead of the Brighton game. Yeah. Would I sell Diaz for Garnacho? No. I absolutely would not sell Diaz for Garnacho. I don't want Garnacho. Garnacho's alright for United, but I don't want him at Liverpool. And also, it's another one of those silly questions because we don't buy and sell players between us and United. It just doesn't happen. What's your opinion about Gomez getting the England call up and White saying he didn't want to go? So, on the first part of it, on Gomez, Joe Gomez has always been clear that he'd like to represent England, and I think Gareth Southgate's looked at the versatility that Joe has shown this season and deemed that would be beneficial to the England team, and I can see why. You know, he can play in a whole host of those positions, certainly in the tournament as well coming up. You know, having that versatility could be key as you get through the tournament. On Ben White, again, it's a personal decision. I don't know Ben White's reasoning for not wanting to be selected by Gareth Southgate. Maybe he feels like it's a waste of his time, that he'll be part of the squad but he won't get enough minutes. Don't know, but you know, really, honestly, I find it refreshing. I find it refreshing that he had the courage to go, nah, don't want to do it. And look, I would hope that the media don't go in on him. He made his decision, signed a new deal at Arsenal. You know, leave him to it. You know, if he doesn't want to play for Gareth Southgate at the moment, that's okay. You know, I wouldn't be going in on him for it. I sometimes wish some of our players would make that call, to be honest with you, but Dylan Adams said, this criticism is the same as Jones a couple of years ago. One or two slightly below par performances and everybody says he isn't good enough. Ridiculous. Well, look, I've got to be honest and say I was part of that Jones criticism. I was. Because it wasn't just one or two. Jones went through a good period of like 6, 7, 8, 9 months where he was just not at the level. But then when he spoke about his injury and how he's had to have his, I think it was his heel or his ankle, managed, it feels like since he spoke out about that, I don't know if it lifted a weight off the shoulders or something, but Curtis Jones has just seemed like a different guy since then, and now probably one of the first names Jurgen considers for that team sheet. The fact Southgate picked Hendo made me question humanity. Also, I think Southgate and White probably has a fallout or something. Maybe, not sure. I mean, look, if I was an English football fan and I seen him picking Jordan Henderson, I would question what the hell he's at. I get it, people are telling me that Henderson's been a loyal servant and all this stuff. Understandable, but he's not good enough now. There are better players in England than Jordan Henderson right now. But obviously, Gareth Southgate has his trusted lieutenants and, you know, he'll live and die by his own decisions. Imagine City Arsenal go trophyless after all the talk. I mean, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Again, I don't hold anything against Arsenal, but yes, City going trophyless definitely would be nice. Be a nice change. Assalamu alaikum, Craig. How are you on this Friday afternoon? Thank you, my friend. I'm good, yeah, good. Always a little bit tired after the night before because, you know, the watch-alongs are usually kind of emotional affairs. And I don't know about you guys, but I always struggle to sleep the night after a Liverpool game, after a night game, because my adrenaline's usually quite high from the stream, from the game. So yeah, don't get much sleep, but wake up today, see the draw, happy about the draw. Pathway through to the final looks good, and a massive game on Sunday as well before the international break, and I cannot wait to play United on Sunday. That to me is the game. Every season, that's the one I look out for. Growing up, all my friends, it was Liverpool United split, and excuse me, all my life, that's the game. See the fixtures come out at the start of the season. When are we playing United? When are we playing United? So yeah, Sunday. Because for me, this feels like I need this to move past my own inadequacies when we played them at home. Because that was my probably most regrettable stream of the season. My conduct wasn't at its best. Let's say that. So yeah, this weekend's important for me to get past that, and hopefully with a win and, you know, put United out of the competition. Gakpo very often loses chances. He has troubles in mentality, I think. But so does Darwin. So does Salah. Every forward misses chances. Darwin missed from 4 yards yesterday. And I don't see anybody going in on him over that, which is right to. I'm glad nobody is. But you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just our perception, or we're looking for stuff. We're looking for a reason to confirm. Confirmation bias, I guess. We're looking for a reason to confirm those negative thoughts. So let's just leave them be. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think people need to forget about the individuals and just focus on the team. Because I'm a Liverpool Football Club fan. I'm not a Cody Gakpo fan or a Virgil van Dijk fan or a Jurgen Klopp fan. They all form part of the thing that I love, but they are individual pieces of it. So for me, as long as Liverpool keep winning and going in the right direction, I don't really care who scores, who plays well, who plays poorly. I care about results. I care about the football club, and we are in a good place right now. So no need to be hypercritical. Just enjoy the journey, because, you know, we've only got so many more games left with Kloppo. Let's make the most of it. Let's be positive and let's enjoy it, because I promise you, in 3, 4, 5 years' time, we'll look back at this time as a time we'd love to live through again. So take it in, smell the roses, look around, catch a breath and appreciate it, because football isn't always like this. These are the days we live for. Pretty sure to play under Klopp, you have to be a mental giant, so Gakpo will get his chances. Yes, and Klopp will have understood that certain players, maybe like Cody Gakpo, will need an arm around the shoulder. Other players may respond to a challenge. And Klopp's excellent at this, to be fair. Gakpo is too casual for Liverpool, doesn't contribute in any way. That's bullshit. Sorry, absolute bullshit. Go away. I'm not. No, just go away. That's bullshit. He doesn't contribute in any way. He scored 2 goals last night. Is that not contributing? That's just stupidity. Like, if you say I don't think he's up to the level, he needs to work on this, or, you know, I'd like to see a little bit, but he doesn't contribute in any way, you're just being a hater. For what? I don't get it, and I'm not looking at it. I'm not putting up with it. Sorry. It's not the mentality or the attitude or the type of person that I want in my community, mate. Sorry, that's nonsense. Got tickets for the final. Me? No, I passed them up. Yeah, I had excuse me. I was given the option to go to the final, but I decided that whatever happens, if we're in it, I want to be around my community and on my channel. I'll leave running away for big games to other people. I just want to I want to be here with you guys and focus on what I'm doing, you know. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The reason I feel like our community is different is because everybody cares. And that has to include me. I have to set the tone. And for me, I couldn't imagine not being with you guys in some way that night. Whether it's a watch-along, a live show, I want to be with you guys. And I want to celebrate with you guys, or commiserate, heaven forbid, with you guys. That's why this all means a lot to me. Do you like Elliot in the 8 or the 10 or on the wing? Don't like him on the wing. 8 or 10, absolutely sound. And I think that's they're his two best roles. I think Elliott is one of our few players who can operate really well between the lines, and find that extra little bit of space, receive the ball, and always make something happen. Always looking to progress, always looking to play the ball forward. I love him. And I'm glad that he's starting to get opportunities. Because look, I'm going to be honest, and if I'm picking the strongest Liverpool midfield, at the moment I'd probably have McAllister and Szoboszlai in there ahead of even Jones and Elliott. But if Jones and Elliott were in the team and the others were, I'd have no issue with that either. I think the group we have at the minute is really good. And with Gravenberch being available, hopefully for the weekend, that's only another positive, only another option for Jurgen. The draws couldn't have been any better for us, said Brian. I'm happy with it. Really happy with it, mate. I think we've got the easier side of that draw. Right, so because West Ham won by 5 last night, as well as Liverpool winning and Aston Villa winning, there was confirmation that yes, England will get that 5th Champions League spot. So now we can confirm that for you. I was just checking that out in the background here as we were streaming. Craig, do you have a current favourite Liverpool player? Yep, Darwin and Alisson. That would be my two. But I tell you what, there's a few more creeping in. I'm very much liking Bobby Clark. Very much liking Clark. You all know I'm a huge Harvey Elliott fan as well. But yeah, I love Darwin for all the reasons we all love him. Because he's Captain Chaos. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Plays with tremendous passion. Makes mistakes, but he's human. So he's going to make mistakes. But yeah, I love Ali for that calm reassurance. Best keeper in the world in my opinion. And Darwin for taking over from Bobby for me. Because Bobby was my previous Captain Chaos. And I keep glancing across because I've got my Bobby Firmino painting over there. I don't know who that is, Mo. Sorry, mate. I've no idea who that is. City or Madrid? For the game, I'm going to be honest. I think I slightly edge Man City. I want Madrid to win. Let me say that. I don't want City anywhere near more trophies, but I don't know. If Real Madrid have a full fit team to pick from, it'll be a tough game. I feel like whoever wins that probably wins the Champions League. I feel comfortable enough to say that, but if you're other teams in the tournament, you're not displeased that Real Madrid and Man City are playing each other because one of them get knocked out and you take that as a plus. Gakpo's movement is top, said Rob Whittaker. He and Dom made a dozen moves which would have taken them one-on-one with the keeper. Not their fault, nobody made the pass. Craig, are you scared that when Klopp leaves, a lot of the main players will look to go, aka Salah, Virgil, Trent? No, not really. Look, it is going to be a loss when Jurgen moves on. But, you know, we are still going to be a really, really attractive club with, if we get Alonso, you know, one of the, if not the most sought after young manager in world football. 60,000 plus capacity, back in the Champions League, young players coming through, showing absolute talent. Nah, I don't ever worry about people wanting to leave Liverpool. Because if you don't want to be here, adios. And I mean that. And I'm sure the managers would say that to you as well. If you don't want to play for Liverpool and you don't appreciate putting that jersey on every time and running out onto that pitch, and you need to feel like you need to be convinced to do it, then off you pop. We've seen greats come and go, and we'll see it happen again, but the club will be continuous, and we'll see more heroes come down the line. Am I excited with the draw? I'm okay with it, Emmy. Wouldn't say excited, but yeah, good. I like playing Atalanta. I think that'll be an interesting 2 games. They're, as I said before, I like the way Gasperini sets his teams up. I think it's going to be fun. I think we easily beat the winner of Benfica and Marseille as well. So, yeah, especially with the second leg of that at Anfield. All good. Right, my friends, I'm going to go record today's news video and get prepared for our big stream of the day, which is, of course, the 8:30 late night agenda tonight. Just a reminder as well that I won't be on at all tomorrow. And if you want to come to the show in Boston, it is 1 week away. 1 week from today, Anfield Agenda in Boston at the Foundation Room of the Citizens House of Blues. You can get your tickets with the link in the description of the stream, or you can go onto Ticketmaster and just search Anfield Agenda. And yeah, 1 week to go. I'll see you guys later on tonight. And again, don't forget to download SofaScore as well with the link in the description of the QR code on the screen. Talk to you soon. Bye.